Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Adventures of Drawing. I'll draw a little scene for you using a variety of pencils, a smudging tool, and an eraser. So, without further ado, let's dive right into this, shall we? Okay, so my cold is almost gone, but as always, in the end, my can be really irritated and itchy, and I just coughed a lung up. I will try to get this scene done maybe a little quicker than the other days. Maybe I will, I'm aiming for half an hour just so I don't have to abruptly interrupt myself for maybe several minutes just to calm my cough down. Um, Also, I have an idea what I want to draw, but I have no idea how to draw it. Um, let's just quickly start with the value of the sky. So I have to work today, but as I didn't stream yesterday, this is for catching up. Every day, every time I want to stream, I sit there and I think it's going to suck and it's not going to look good. And yeah, I mean, I'm often proud that I did draw the scene and that I did stream it. And yeah, sometimes things happen in the composition that I like, but yeah, mostly I'm dissatisfied with my skill and with how it turns out, and it's a fight every time to sit down and start the stream. And yeah, so often I procrastinated and sit there for several hours hesitating to start the stream, and then I end up doing nothing before I either do something else or finally start the stream. Or I just put it off for the day, and yeah, then I have to catch up. I don't know. I just feel like getting that off my chest. I mean, I aim to be positive here, and in order to do that, I don't want to put my own weight onto other people's chests, but I don't know. Just felt like saying it. It's a struggle, and yeah, I'll continue doing this on the days that I don't have to work, except for, of course, as I just said, when I have to catch up. And let's see how long I can do this. And yeah, but now to the scene. I want the horizon to be visible over here, so I draw in some detail in the ground, just a little bit. Maybe like that. And then I will have a forest right here with a couple of trees. Maybe we can see the leaves up here. And if we have the light coming from the right, then we've got our shadows down here on the bottom left of those shapes. Don't know why I crosshatch this way. It's normally way easier for me to go the other way diagonally, but I just somehow my intuition told me to start like this, so I'll have this really irregular cross-hatching pattern right here, but I mean, it's an irregular thing, irregular structure anyway in the trees, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. Okay, now going the other way, I'll extend the shadow areas a little bit with a less dense shadow area to create a transition into the lighter values, like roundabout like this. It's going really dark on the edges though. Maybe like that. Okay. And then I want the leaf pattern to be in here. Just the usual shtick. Just some curly lines on the outline and going into the volume. Some curly lines just chained together. All the way down here. A little bit on the inside. And let's now go to the HB pencil and create an outline on the light side. And then also have some leaves sticking out within the volumes, like so. Right there. Okay. Now I'll make those tree trunks, give them a proper left side right here, the shadow side, And then I go into the light side, erasing the right side of the tree trunks. Like this. And using the 3B pencil, I create a transition from the dark side over to the light side. Okay. Now, let me first give those trees something to stand on. Also just get a little bit more detail for the ground like this. Maybe like so. And then I want this to be a really thick forest where you can't see through. So I just make a lot of lines between those tree trunks for a lot more trees to stand in there. Should maybe have a transition to the right where it thins out a little bit. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. It's just an approximation, just an artistic interpretation of reality. So it can be just, tree trunks can be resembled by just lines like that. Okay, now I want to make the areas in between the tree trunks a little darker, just so that there's nothing of the sky behind to be seen. So it just really feels like we look into the dark of the forest. Okay, maybe a little bit here, just like so, just for a transition. Okay. I wanted some trees on the right side as well. Not sure how I'm going to put those in. Hey there, thanks for the like. I'll just go ahead and do what I always do. Just start with the trunks. Also maybe those trees are a little more in the distance. So I'll use the HB pencil so that they're a little lighter in the misty distance. And maybe that's nah. Let's make them go all the way through to the other side, all the way over here. And then I won't give those tree trunks a light side since they're so much in the distance. I'll just make them a little wider than the initial line. Like this. And then let's have some leaves up there. Maybe like so. And that makes me want a couple of trees on the horizon as well, just for some extra depth in the drawing. Just quickly add those. Doesn't take long to draw trees, see? If they're that far in the distance, it just takes 15 seconds or so. Okay, now let's give those right here a shadow side to the bottom left. Let's have another one right there, maybe like that. Okay. Yeah. Let's go on with the shadow over here. Bottom left of each tree. Alright. Nope. Some more patterns in there. Maybe like so. And a little bit right here. A little transition into the lighter area. And then a little bit of structure on the light side. Maybe like so. Okay, now let's have one more little larger tree right here. Yeah, let's just go right there. Let's add a shape for the leaves. Erase the right part of the trunk. Make a transition from the shadow to the light area. And then create a shadow area right here. Maybe a little bit more into the volume at some areas like this. And then even darker at the very edge right here. And then of course we also add the leaf pattern. like this on the dark side, and then going into the light side right here. Maybe like so. Okay. A little something on the ground for this tree, and a little more detail on the ground right here. Now let's have a little shape like this and something like that, and then there's going to be a path going right here, and then right there, and over here. Okay, let me have one more tree right here in the foreground. But before I do that, I will add in the structure of the ground right here. I think I overdid it there. It looks way cooler over here, but that's okay. It's totally fine. Maybe it's just darker because it's in the shadow of the trees right here. Speaking about which, I have to, of course, make the ground right here darker, since it's all in the shadows. Okay. Before I draw the tree in the foreground, let me quickly draw the ground down here. Like this, and then using the 3B pencil, I set it apart from the midground and also give a little detail. Like so. No. Just in here, okay. Yeah, now I can add the tree. What the heck? Just right. Oops, that's the sun area. Maybe like so. Very similar to the one I drew the day before yesterday, but I guess that's okay, since the composition is totally different today. I can get away with placing a similar element there, and the scene is still different enough from the other scene. Okay, just erasing the area behind the tree. Oops, that's the wrong pencil. Got the 3B right here. Okay. Now I'm adding a shadow area to this tree trunk. a little bit of structure in here. Maybe like so. Getting lighter towards the right side, and I think maybe it only looks like the tree trunk is bent to the inside because there's a dark tree trunk right there, but I think it looks like the trunk goes inside right here when it should be always going thicker towards the lower end. So yeah, I think that looks better. Okay, add the light details right here to the light side, also creating a little transition to make the light side a little bit darker. Okay, and then I add some of those details, just a couple, to the shadow area. Also want to make the shadow area just a tad bit darker, using the 7B pencil for this right here. Okay. Now I've got 2.5 minutes left. If I want to stay within the half-hour mark, I think I'm not going to be able to do this, since I still need some ground for this tree right here, and generally some more detail in the ground right here in the foreground. Something up here, like so, a little bit over here, something in there. Maybe there are no leaves here anymore, and some grass is growing over here. Alright, maybe that's all the grass. There's going to be some here as well, of course. Let's have some grass over here. I'm not making it too dense right now, the grass. I know one of those last streams I talked about how it should be really thick and layers of grass and not single blades of grass next to each other. I try to do that. Have some blades overlap to create that illusion that there are many blades of grass. But still, right here, there are going to be areas where I can't fill in as much grass as I usually do, and it's going to look a little thinner. Okay, maybe like that. Alright, now for the path, it's going to be just a gravel path. I will erase those grass or underground values back here as well, and then back here. Now I can maybe finally show you the results of when I draw the paths, the gravel on the paths. Since this is the first time I'll do this with the new camera. So over here maybe we can just see the elevations, just indicating those with very flat arcs right here. But then here we can see single parts of gravel. Let me take the 3B pencil for this and just make a lot of dots. And yes, you can see that finally up here. And the cough is starting. Let me take a sip of water. All right. Hopefully I can make it to the end. Now here's another very slight elevation in the path. So I'll add more grains, more dots for the gravel up here. Another very minor elevation right here. And at the top of each elevation, we can see more grains. So there are going to be more dots there. Okay, going a bit lower, we will have less. And then we have one more elevation right here. Okay. I hope you can see what I mean now. It's just very slight ups and downs in the paths. The downs are where, when it rains, the puddles collect, and then the ups are, of course, where there are no puddles. But yeah, that's what I mean by that, and I hope you can see it in here. Okay, now the last element, and what I really wanted to put into this scene is a little shack. It stands right here at the end of the path. And don't really know how large it should be. I just maybe it goes right to the edge of the trees back there. Yeah, maybe like that. All right. I want this to be a very old shack made out of wood. So there's not necessarily a need for very straight lines. They can be bent and warped. Okay, let's have a roof coming down here. The apex of the roof is going to be right here in the middle, like so. And maybe it stands out like this. Okay, and it comes down maybe to this point, vanishing point right there, just estimating that, like so. And then it's up here. Okay, now that we've indicated the outlines, let's get rid of everything that's behind it. All right. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be made out of wood, and you can really see the planks right here. And as I said, we don't need straight lines now, and I'm intentionally making them a little warped and bent just from all the water that it has been exposed to throughout the years. I'm trying to make the planks a little wider at this end than at that end to follow the perspective. Uh, Maybe the roof is made out of wooden tiles. So there's a right edge right here on the outside. Oh, I need to also erase this right there. And then right here on the inside, that's going to be in the very shadow. And it's so dark right here, we can't even see the grains of the wood. So I'll just fill that in completely dark, like so. Down here, we're going to have some dark edges of the slabs of wood. Down here, maybe I'll just indicate the whole row instead of single slabs. And like so, just to work towards finishing right here. Then there's a bright edge right there. Let me maybe give it an outline even. Then there are the slabs of wood and a light edge. Slabs again and an edge. And so on and so forth. I should follow the inclination of the roof with this. Okay. Alright, maybe like so. And we've got the shadow side right here to the left, so let me cross-hatch that. Go across this way to make it darker. Okay, go along the edge to fill that in as well. Up here. And now I want a little bit of the grains in the wood to be seen right here. Some holes where there were branches growing once when the wood still was a tree. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see the dots for the holes, but you can't see the grains too well. Let me make those a little darker, and now I think you can see them. Okay, now we need a little door right here. There's the entrance and the gap between the door and the rest is really dark and thick, just like, or even thicker than the gaps between the single planks right here. And then of course it's made out of planks of wood as well. And then we've got the rest right here, made out of planks again. Now let me give that a value with the HB pencil. And maybe add just a couple of grains in here as well. And first put in some holes. Maybe just a couple. And then not too many grains, but just a little for the detail. Circles around the holes, and then where there are no circles, just lines along the length of the plank. Okay, maybe just a little something in the ground where the shed is standing on. A little bit of grass growing back there. Okay. And there you have our scene for today. So let me clean up the edges and finish this off. All right. There you go. Thanks for being here again. Oh, wow. I'm at 48 minutes now. Didn't think the rest would take so long, but I mean, I managed to finish it without major interruptions, so that's okay. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the VODs. Thanks for tuning into the stream. If you find yourself coming back to the channel, please consider subscribing, leaving a like on the video, and drop down in the comments to tell me what you think about what I do here. So, with all that said, thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.